Once upon a time, in a quaint old house at the end of Elm Street, there lived a young girl of breathtaking beauty. Her name was Emily, but she was no ordinary girl. Unbeknownst to the world, she was a ghost, a lost soul tethered to the house by some tragic fate. The house on Elm Street had a dark history for years. It had been a revolving door for tenants, each one leaving for reasons they couldn't quite explain. Some claimed to have heard faint whispers in the dead of night. Others spoke of an unshakable sense of being watched, and some even claimed to have felt the chilling presence of a ghost. They were right, of course, but none had ever come close to the truth. Emily was watching, waiting, hoping for a change. It was on a misty morning that a new family arrived to take residence in the old house. A family of three, they were: a loving mother, a doting father, and their cheerful young daughter, Lily. They felt a strange sensation as they stepped across the threshold, a sensation they could not explain, an inexplicable feeling that they were not alone. Little did they know they weren't alone, you see. They thought they were a family of four from the very beginning, including Emily, without realizing it. They never saw her, but they could feel her presence in the quiet corners of the house, especially when she brushed her incorporeal hand against their hair or whispered sweet nothings in their ears as they slept. The family carried on, living their lives in blissful ignorance of their spectral roommate. They laughed together in the garden, cooked meals with shared recipes, and even shared their dreams. Love had a funny way of growing, and they unknowingly nurtured Emily's affections. They couldn't see her, but they could feel her silent, gentle touch, and their love for her grew each day. As the days turned into weeks, they began to talk about their mysterious fourth family member. They'd refer to her as their quiet one at the dinner table, discussing her as if she were a flesh and blood member of their family, just shy or reserved. In their minds, their family was complete, and they embraced the presence they could feel but never see. One evening, as they gathered around the dinner table, the father made a heartfelt declaration. "We're so lucky to have her," he said, his voice tinged with gratitude. His wife and daughter nodded in unison, their smiles warm and genuine. The moment lingered, the realization dawning slowly. They turned their gaze toward empty chairs, seeking answers in silence. What had once been a harmless game of imagination, a comfort, had transformed into a haunting reality. Their silent family member, their quiet one, was no longer just a benevolent spirit. She was something much darker. Fear and anger washed over them, and the love they once had for Emily twisted into something else entirely, a desperate desire to escape her clutches. But it was too late. The doors wouldn't open, the windows wouldn't break. There was no escape from the dark enchantment that had ensnared them. Emily had played her role perfectly, allowing them to believe in her existence, to care for her, to become a part of their lives. She had lulled them into a false sense of security, and now they were trapped in her domain, just as she had been for years. Realization turned to fear, and fear to anger. Their love for her transformed into horror and desperation. It was too late for them to leave, to escape the fate that had befallen the house's previous tenants. They were trapped in her web, prisoners of their own misguided love. With a sinister smile on her beautiful face, Emily descended upon them, her rage consuming her like a firestorm. She couldn't allow them to leave. They had to join her to share in her lonely existence. Their pleas and cries echoed through the old house, but there was no one to hear them. Emily was relentless, her violence beyond their darkest nightmares. She became a force of destruction, and their home became a hellish prison. Their love for her had become a curse, and in their final moments, they realized the true horror of their situation. And then there was silence. The house had claimed them, as it had claimed so many before. The family of three, once so full of life and love, had become another chapter in the dark history of the house on Elm Street. Now, Emily waits once more, her beautiful appearance hiding the malevolence within. She waits for the next tenants to arrive, to be drawn in by the allure of the old house, and to unwittingly become part of her twisted family. They will never know the true nature of their quiet one until it's too late, and they too are consumed by the darkness that dwells within the house on Elm Street. If you like this story, kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell to be updated for new story release. We love to hear from you, so comment down below for your opinions on the story. Thank you for watching.